This is my desk where I do most of my illustrations. It's a very simple old writing desk from about the 1920s. It has a clock that doesn't work. It has comics for inspiration. One Piece is always a great start. I have lots of jars and bottles of ink, glasses to see with. I have brush pens, acrylic paints, some great music, oil paints, acrylic paints, beautiful Ecoline ink, watered down inks which are used like watercolors. They're absolutely beautiful. Check those out. Of course, we have the Winsor Newton inks and some more acrylic jars below. The Winsor & Newton are a little bit thicker than, say, the Talons ink, which I also use. I use a lot of Talons inks. Brushes, hundreds of brushes and lots of pens. I have spray jars for giving a much more loose airbrush effect, though I don't like it too uniform. I like it a little bit more messy kind of feel to it, more loose, more expression. I have lots of jars. People have asked before. The Marmite jar is extra nibs. The Bovril jar is more inks, acrylic inks. The larger jars here are grey scaled inks, coming from a very light grey to a middle grey to a darker grey. And I use those with a brush to kind of fill out, give some shadow and a little bit more depth to it. The inks, I have an acrylic ink here with a skull on it. It has a skull on it because it's an acrylic ink and it has a disgusting smell. So it's kind of like a warning reminder when I open it. More inks here. That's the Indian ink. The nibs I use mostly are the Geo Hughes. I kind of find that the ink nib is much more restrictive than some of the other nibs. I buy lots of these packets of nibs as well, just a mixed set of used nibs. That's a Geo Hughes nib, wherever the camera is. It's a very thin nib. It's quite not as wildly flexible as some of the others. You can use some of these flex nibs. They kind of give you a very wide berth, but not so keen on those. I have all different sizes of nibs here, lots of different ones, different sizes. Yeah, lots of different types of nibs and different inks, but very, very limiting. I don't try to explore too much on the technical side of tools and whatever. I think it should be mostly down to the artist. That's the type of style that I'm working on at the moment.